We're here. Oh, listen to Django.
I know. I'm sorry.
Licking his chops.
I heard it right when you started. You don't get to be on the camera. I mean, on the microphone.
He's like, what are you talking about?
Now
Can't
he's
you hear me?
yawning. Okay.
Good morning. Well, for us, good morning for us. Hello, everyone out there. We are doing Spring-Into-Reading-Athon sprints, but of course, if you're not participating in the readathon, we're happy to have you here. I've got Amanda from the Reading and Writing Life. Say hi. Say anything you want to say.
Well, Django was sleeping contentedly until right before we went live, and then he's like, you know what? I would like to be right in your face. So that's what's going on right now.
He must have known.
He did. If I start talking into this microphone and he wants something, no. He knows for sure that I'm filming, and he will stand here and make all kind of noise till I do whatever he wants. So
he's like, I know how to get your attention.
Well, let's see if he'll go back and lay down.
I've got all of Amanda's information. Well, I've got Amanda's channel linked in the description box below, so please go give her some love. And I'm just excited about this. I feel like I'm doing pretty good so far this month. How are you doing?
So I pulled my thing up so I can look at it. My my bingo board. When I finish Shadow of the Fox, I will have 5 spaces left on the board to do.
How many did you get Shadow of the Fox to work for? I remember you saying you got it for a whole bunch.
5, 6, 7, 8 of them.
Wow.
8 of them is Shadow of the Fox. But I haven't started it yet. I'm starting it now today on sprints. So I'm not going to finish it today. Or I might finish it later today, but I'm not going to finish it right now.
I don't have a ton. I mean, I only have 2 crossed off at this point, but I have I'm in the, I feel like I'm in a good place to be able to get a whole bunch crossed off in maybe in a week. We'll see. Right. I'm going to finish this book this morning, and this will give me 3 spots crossed off. So I'll have 5 because I do want to get a blackout.
Okay. Well, I finished. Mine have been normally when I'm doing these, I like to have a new book for everything. Bailey, I'm so glad that you're here. I have so many complaints about Jokes on Me. Bailey, I've been playing Bailey's TBR game to try to knock down some of my TBRs. But when you grab a Joker card, you have to start over at the beginning. And I'm just going to say that I've read 11 books and I'm not even halfway around the board.
How are you getting Jokers so much?
I've only gotten 1 Joker. That's not the problem. It's also 7s make you jump across the board. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I was going to send her a message on Discord and be like, your game is doing me wrong. But now you're here, I can tell you.
Oh, no. All right. Well, everybody, let us know what you're reading this morning. I am working on Fenris and Mott. I've got 20 pages left. I was going to finish it last night, but I was so tired that I just fell asleep. I got less than 20 pages. I just fell asleep instead. But that's good because I hate finishing a book when I'm that tired, because then I'm like, oh, I don't, you don't enjoy the very end. What about you? Oh yeah, you're reading Shadow of the Fox.
I've literally, it's 14 hours and 45 minutes. I've not listened to a single second of it yet. So
good. Oh, and hi, Melinda. Excuse me.
I'm going to let
Morning,
him out
Brenna.
while you welcome everybody.
Sorry?
I'm going to let him outside while you welcome everybody.
Sounds good. Morning, Brenna. Hello, Olivia. How you doing? Hey, KL. We're doing good. Yeah. Amanda's tired. She just got back from a long drive. And so I can say that for her. And I'm tired because I had to spring forward. So it's 9, but it's actually 8 for me. Let's see. Hi, Bailey. Hey, Shelly Belly. Hi, Jenny. And then let's see. Livia's starting Shadow of the Fox today. I am not planning on starting Shadow of the Fox until I finish Under the Whispering Door. Right? Yes. But I will start it soon. Oh yeah, Bailey said, did you get a Joker? I didn't get the whole first season. I didn't get the whole first season.
Yeah, I got it. After I read 7 books, I got a Joker. I had to start over. So
thanks, Bailey.
Right.
Reading. We blame Bailey for a lot of things, don't we? Especially like Squash That Series. I blamed her for everything. Poor Bailey.
I did too when my whole entire TBR got derailed in January because the night before I sent you a message and you said, I'm doing Squash That Series. And I was like, what is that? And then the whole rest of January was destroyed.
You're welcome. Yeah. I know. I was like, I shouldn't have told you because I know how you get with readathons. But I was like, well, I'm doing this and it's going to be fun. And I know you. Well, see, the other thing was Stephanie's here. Hi.
Sorry, the time change threw me off. And then I was like,
totally.
Reading now.
No worries. No worries. Hey, Stephanie. So everybody, this is Stephanie and her information is down in the description box below as well. I was just we were talking about Squash That Series, which was a readathon we did in January, and it was just all about series. And Amanda's doing a 50 before 50 series that she's trying to complete, 50 series she's trying to complete.
By
and
the time
so
I turned 50, so I still have 4 years left.
50 series. Whew.
Yeah, and some of them are really long.
I'm either trying to catch up on them or and I threw in some graphic novels, so it's bad, but it's not as bad as it could be.
But you're actually making progress. I haven't made hardly any progress on my 45 before 45.
Well, that's because I make TBRs that are specifically my 50 before 50 list. So
smart. Yeah. How you doing, Stephanie?
Oh, I'm good. I feel I went to bed a little bit later than I should have last night, so this is on me. But I swear I woke up and I was like, oh, I have plenty of time. And I'm like, no, actually I don't. Because we jumped ahead. I don't know. Are you all in time zones where you do daylight savings time still?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Dumb. It's so pointless. I hate it.
Yeah. And yesterday I drove forever, the last 2 days actually. And you know how different states or different places will put up the sign when you're driving down the road and it's like, keep accidents from happening, like pay attention to the road, all these things. Well, they had one that said, only clocks should spring forward, buckle your seatbelts.
That's clever. I like it.
Trying to be cute. I think South Dakota has the best signs. Whoever's in charge of their signs, they're always got like dad jokes on them. They're always really funny.
I feel like we see those in Utah sometimes where it's like camping is only for the mountains. Don't camp out in the left lane or something like that. I don't know. It was funnier the way they did it, but
no, but I like that because that's so true. That drives me nuts.
I know.
I'm like, it's a passing lane. It's called a passing lane.
Yep.
Or you just drive where I drove yesterday, which is the middle of the United States, and there's nobody on the road. So I could be in whatever lane I wanted to be in.
I'm from Montana originally, and that's how our roads are as well. So you just kind of be where you want to be. You can like go in between. No one cares.
Yeah.
That was how when driving through Wyoming, I think the speed limit was like 85 or something ridiculous like that. And I'm like, that's the speed limit?
Well, Montana didn't used to have speed limits, and then apparently that became well known, and so they had to add them.
Yeah.
I was like a kid when that first became a thing. I grew up in Arkansas, so nowhere near Montana. I had never been. But I remember going, there's a place with no speed limit. Like I was so scandalized by it being a thing. I did drive through Iowa, Bailey. I drove right on the edge of Iowa and Nebraska. Like that interstate, I don't even know what it is, even though I've been on it for 25 hours the last 2 days. But literally, I hit Kansas City and I just went straight up till I got to Fargo, and then I went west. So
where are you now?
I am in the middle of North Dakota, the northern middle of North Dakota. So I am 30-ish miles from the Canadian border. We accidentally almost went to Canada one time. We saw the sign that said, you are within 15 miles of the thing. We were looking for the Northern Lights. So we weren't paying attention to anything. And we saw a big sign that said, you were within 15 minutes. And we had like nothing on us. And we were like, we don't have passports. Let's turn around and go back before. So anyway.
Well, she was telling me how it's so expensive to fly in and out of where she's living now because there's just nothing, nobody goes there.
Yeah. You just can't. And there's only one flight that goes back and forth. I mean, like one airline that flies in and out of our international airport.
Because it goes to Canada.
Yeah, yes. I'm like, How is this international? Because we're
I
South Canada.
My Montana one says it's international too. I'm like, you fly to Canada, don't
Right.
you? And that's it.
Okay.
What are you reading today, Stephanie?
I'm not reading. I am studying. I have boards coming up, and so I'm going to be doing that.
How's that been feeling, getting ready for that?
Well, I hate it. I hate tests. Like, I feel like I'm a relatively smart person, but I am not. Like, I swear tests come and my brain just blanks because I have pretty bad anxiety with them. So I will be studying. I have my little booklet. I'm just reviewing this one for now, but yeah.
Yeah, I hate tests too. I just feel like it's such a bad. It doesn't actually measure my understanding of things, so that frustrates me.
Yeah, I agree. And I just don't like how I hate the like select all that apply questions. I'm like, oh, they stress me out so bad. So I feel like that's one thing that I'm trying to improve on, but we'll see.
You're going to do great. You're going to do great.
As long as I pass. Like, honestly, this test is like a you pass or you don't type test. I mean, I'm sure they give you a score, but like, I honestly don't care what my score is. Like, if I pass, I'm happy.
Good. Okay, so Melinda's reading The Girl Who Drank the Moon. We were asking everybody what they're reading with us this morning. And Fallon, hi guys. I'm hoping I can join you in a bit running errands, but it's Mother's Day. So is today's Mother's Day?
Is it?
Maybe it's Mother's Day wherever she lives.
Okay.
I hope so, because
well, happy Mother's Day, Fallon. I'm going to be reading Shadow the Fox today. Finished Shadow the Fox last night, starting God Killer this morning.
Okay, Brenna, what'd you think about it? Like, you can just say one word, like good or bad or whatever.
Good.
I've been hearing some mixed things, so I'm curious to hear. Hello, reading Nightfall from Penelope Douglas. Oh, I think I heard about. Is that the one that? Hi, Stacy. By the way, didn't mean to just pass by that. 17 episodes, and so Bailey never got a Joker. We're talking about Bailey's game earlier.
Bailey has a game that you work around the game board, and if you draw a Joker, you have to start over. And she said she never got one. I got one because I'm playing her game. I play your game too, by the way. I don't know if you've seen it, but I play your game all the time on mine.
The mini Star Hop one?
Yeah.
So
and I tag people, but recently one of my friends, I was like, dude, you were tagged in a huge BookTubers video. And he was like, what? I didn't see that. How do I see that? And I was like, let me show you.
Yeah, because I feel like I've seen tags, but none recently. Like, I feel like it's been a long time since I've seen a tag.
They're in a separate section on YouTube Studios. They're under another like tab.
Maybe I'm just like not seeing those like alerts or something.
Yeah, I don't get alerts
for them either. I think you just have to go look at them.
Oh. They probably did it because since you can tag anybody, you can tag Mr. Beast in all your videos if you want to. So like they didn't want him getting 1 million, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I need the alerts. I am not on top of things enough to not have alerts.
I'm not either. Somebody will come in Discord and be like, hey, so-and-so mentioned you on their channel. And I was like, what? And then I have to go look for it myself. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so everybody, if you need to blame anybody, if you need to blame anything on anybody, Bailey says she doesn't mind being blamed. We were just saying how we blamed everything on Bailey this morning. So, not this morning, just in general, during the readathons that she was hosting, and then I guess during her game that Amanda was playing. I'm reading The Best of All Possible Worlds by Karen Lord. I think I remember you talking about that one, Jenny. I'm also blissfully holed up in a cab. Oh, yes, that's right, for your cabin trip. Oh. She's doing her own reading retreat for her birthday, and that's amazing.
That sounds so nice.
I'm so jealous. Hi, just finished the audiobook of Tomorrow. Also finishing a middle grade called Homecoming this hour. Then continuing a nonfiction book called, wow, doing a good job. Reading lots.
Killing it.
Book Girl. A book about books. Love books about books. I'm trying to finish A Fatal Grace by Louise Penny. That's the second one, I think, I need to read that one too. Let's see. Hi, Alicia. Trying to push through Rune and Rising.
Fair enough.
How's it going? Amanda, if you still have series options, the Tillerman Cycle series by Cynthia Voigt includes a Newbery Award winner and is great.
Okay, I don't need any, but I will write that one down because I'm always looking for new books. So.
Welcome to nothing. Oh, meaning like
Yeah, that was talking about where I live. So she's already texted me on Discord. So oh,
Hey!
you're in Manitoba. We have a trip planned. We're going north this summer. So
is that okay. Okay. Messaging you where do you
yeah.
okay, got it. Okay, so Brenna gave Shadow the Fox 3.5 stars.
Okay.
Oh, twice. Hey, Becca! Trying to read Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda today. I've got the littles running around, so we'll see. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, well, I think let's just do a sprint then, because I know that I'm really good at just talking, and not sprinting. So maybe we should actually get one of those in. How long do we want to go for?
I'm good for whatever.
Should we start at like 30 minutes?
Sure.
Okay, I'll put a banner up. What is 30 minutes? That's 45. Okay, well, we'll get going. Happy sprinting and happy studying, and hopefully you enjoy Shadow the Fox, Amanda. Hello. Welcome back. Let's see. How's it going? How'd it go?
It went.
So once you get this done, Stephanie, what is your end goal?
Oh, I want nurse practitioner. So I already have my degree. I just have to pass the board exam. So yeah.
Almost there.
Yes.
That's very
Yeah.
Well,
I know I can't be excited yet though, because like it's a big test. So like I don't know.
When is the test? Like how long do you have to study?
I am waiting for authorization to test. So I have to like apply to be able to test. And then once I get that, then I can schedule it. I'm hoping this month. So
I can't imagine. Like it's been so long since I've studied something. I know, Amy, you were just in school, but I mean, like I would love to learn stuff, but not like study to have to then do a test. I can't imagine.
Like, I don't blame you. I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah, it's way more fun to just learn stuff.
Yeah, it definitely is. I agree.
Bailey's reading Fangirl Down. I've never even heard. Is that like the Rainbow Rowell Fangirl? Isn't that a book? Is it like?
I mean, Fangirl is a Rainbow Rowell book, yeah, but I don't know.
Mom's here.
Tessa Bailey has Fangirl Down.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I'm guessing romance, Tessa Bailey.
Yeah. Mom's reading The Shadow of the Girls, which
The Silence of the Girls. What is that?
That's what I meant. It's a retelling of the Briseis and Achilles, the Trojan War.
Yep.
Okay.
But from Briseis' perspective, so it's from the female perspective.
Oh, I think I've heard of that.
Who is Briseis?
She's the girl that Achilles. I just really want to go with Hercules.
She becomes Achilles' concubine.
Mm-hmm. That's the one that Agamemnon. No, the other one.
Yeah,
Agamemnon really wanted to take her as his
right for
his
him,
prize,
but Achilles got her as the prize of battle. Okay,
yeah. And then Mom and Shell talked about male monster alien smut series.
I see that. I saw them and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, it's golf. Oh, sorry. I read ahead. Sorry. We'll get
Brandy's here. Hi, Brandy. Glad you're here with us reading the 5th. I didn't realize there were 5 books in the front desk.
I didn't either. Front desk is on my list. I do want to read it, but it's just book 1 because I haven't started, but it's on my list.
I liked book 1 a lot, but I haven't continued yet. It's a good one. It's really impactful. Like I really liked the characters. It was really found family vibes, which I liked a lot. Melanie is here. Hey, Mel. How's it going? Angela. Hi, Angela. Just joined. I'm reading The Cheat Sheet. Oh, that's a romance too, right? That's one of those popular romances.
I think that one's on my thing too.
Is that an Allie Hazelwood one?
No, it's Sarah Adams.
Sarah Adams.
Only because I have Goodreads right here, so I just pulled it.
There are so many.
There's no way I knew that. It's quarterback.
Like one of those sport romance, right? Yeah.
It is. He's a quarterback.
Oh, wait, yeah. It's the one that has like the green cover a lot and like the X's that you use for putting up
and
the plays.
X's and O's, the plays in the background. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
KL ate lunch but didn't read. Bailey got 19 pages. I don't know how far I got. I was getting a couple of texts and stuff too, so I'm not done yet with my book, but I'm so close. I'm like less than 10 pages away from the end.
Oh, you'll finish it on that.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. Mom got 17 pages, not much, but a start. I got about 10 pages read and updated my series tracker and added my recent purchases to my TBR tracker. Awesome. Smut golf book.
Like generally when you're like it's a sports romance, golf is never one. Like I don't think I've ever read a golf one. I did just read a hockey one that had almost no hockey in it. It was really good though. So
I'm intrigued because my husband loves golf. Golf's his like absolute favorite. He's actually golfing right now. So like
hey Diana, how's it going? Yeah, that sounds I've only read one Sorry, my brain's on slow-mo. I only read one sports one. That was the Mariana Zapata one, and I wasn't a fan myself. But I know a lot of people really like Mariana Zapata. It was just
You mean like
such
the
a slow
really
burn.
long one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The
I read it because I had to read. It's the Wall of Winnipeg and Me.
that one.
Yeah, okay.
I had to have a book over 500 pages, and I was like, I don't want to use my brain for a fantasy that's that big. And somebody was like, there's a romance. And I was like, what? How do you make a romance that long? Anyway, it was
How
long.
do you make a
It was
romance
long.
that long?
It was too long. And it was such a slow burn.
It fell into the thing that I don't like, which I don't like enemies to lovers as a trope in romance, because if you do it really well, I don't like the person. Like, they're enemies for a reason. And unless you have 500 pages, you're not going to convince me that this person is now a new person. They've changed. They're not. So enemies to lovers is my least favorite trope.
I feel like enemies to lovers can be done in fantasy because like you're on opposing sides, and usually it's like some big war or something, right? So it's so much easier to do it in fantasy and have it work well, I think, than to do it in like regular life. Because I'm like, who has actual enemies? And if you have a full-on enemy, how on earth do you ever turn this into a romance, like you said, within like 300 pages?
Right. And I totally agree. You could do it also if it was like a YA book and you're in high school and you're two rival schools or something like that.
Yeah.
Or in a fantasy book where you're in a school and you're set up against each other or whatever. But if you make one of them a bully and like, you know, which is generally what has to happen, you're never going to convince me that bully is completely changed.
And how many enemies do you actually have as an adult? Like, how many enemies do you have?
I have no enemies.
I don't have any enemies either. I always think about that. And I'm like, I don't even have anybody that I can be like, do not put me next to them at a party. Like
I just don't care.
There are probably people I would rather sit with, but I'm not going to pitch a fit if you sit me next to somebody. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Up again.
Okay, let's see. Melinda says 25 pages, 23 pages down, 50 million more to go. Oh, that's a fun feeling.
Progress.
It was written in 2018. Oh, Pat Barker. Yeah. The Silence of the Girls.
Oh, okay.
I've heard really good things about her writing, so.
I want to know what Melinda's reading, by the way, that has 50 million pages left.
Oh.
Is it a fanfic, maybe?
Oh.
I'm sure she said way up here.
I mean, I feel like that's probably an exaggeration, but like, fanfics often get super long.
No, it's The Girl Who Drank the Moon.
Oh.
Which, that one's not super long, is it? Maybe it's just feeling like it's long.
I thought that was a YA or a middle grade.
Yeah, I have it. I've heard really good things, but apparently
I've never read it, but
going slow for Melinda. Brenna read the first 30 pages of God Killer and intrigued so far. Did you read God Killer? I feel like you did, Stephanie.
I didn't, but I do own it because it came in a subscription box.
It's on my list because I heard good things about it, so I want to read it. But.
So pretty. The book is gorgeous. Yeah,
it is. Jean's here. Hi, Jean. Good to see you guys online. I just read chapter 1 of Sharp Teeth. Oh, that's that. What is the name of that author?
Rachel Harrison.
Oh,
I read that in my group online because it was a nominee for Best Horror on Goodreads in 2022. But we read it because it was a Barnes and Noble pick one last October, I think, for their Halloween month, whatever, because it's got a werewolf on the cover.
What'd you think?
I liked it. It was better because I could discuss it. I don't know. I think I always rate books higher when I can talk about them with somebody.
Yeah.
But, I liked it.
Yeah, buddy reading makes a big difference. Well, not all the time, but it definitely helps just to work through some of the things that maybe everybody else has a different perspective on, and then you can understand what choices the author may have made for whatever reason.
Yeah, I like it's a allegory using like the werewolf transitions to be like transitioning after trauma, like how you become a new person. And stuff like that. It's kind of worked in together. So there's definitely deeper themes in it. I liked it. But.
Okay, Mel's in Milan. I was wondering, I was going to ask where you were. How exciting. That's not terrible at all.
Right.
For the front desk series, if you love the characters, continue the series because it gets so much better with each book. Oh, good to know. I really liked the first book, so I'm happy to hear that. It's very smut heavy, but I'm loving it, and also grew up golfing. Single dad had to drag me everywhere.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to just add this to my
Okay.
Olivia read 27 pages. Bailey agrees. I don't like enemies to lovers. 386 pages, but I'm not living it. Okay, so Girl Who Drank the Moon is not working for Melinda.
Well, and if that is a middle grade, 386, well, I don't know. I know there are some fantasies that are huge, but 386 seems kind of big for a...
It does seem kind of big. And then Melanie said, buddy reading can also be fun when everybody's hate. Oh, for sure.
Absolutely, yes.
That is true.
Yeah, that is. And I'm actually, so I read, I was buddy reading the first, so House of Earth and Blood with my friend Di, and I was hating it at first. I hadn't read anything by Sarah J. Maas, and I was hating the characters. I was hating like so much about it. And I have never had such a huge drastic switch in my feelings about a book. And it was fun because both of us were having that same feeling. And so reading this book that we were both like, we wanted a DNF, but we're like, no, we've committed to this buddy read. So we just kept reading and reading. And then it like turned out to be a 5-star for me. That was like wild. And it was fun, especially for a buddy read, to be able, well, because also we pushed each other to keep reading, whereas we may have stopped and then not ended up enjoying it at all. So that was pretty cool. I like buddy reads. I highly endorse them. Mel says, we got to Milan today. It's cold and rainy, so we're hanging out in the Airbnb and going to start exploring tomorrow. That's fun. Are you going to go look at any of the, like, have either of you been to Milan before?
I haven't been to Milan. No, I've only been to Europe in general once.
No, I lived in Spain for a couple of years and Turkey for a couple of years, but I didn't go to Milan.
I was just thinking, because I only think of Milan as far as fashion, so I'm wondering what there is to do there, aside from, like, do you just go shopping, or...
Oh, I could not go shopping in Milan. I would feel like such imposter syndrome. I feel like I don't belong here, and you can all tell.
I'm sure that, like, in Milan, you have to dress up to go out too, or at least,
I think so.
Yeah,
and I don't dress up. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like same with Paris too. Like they can tell who's tourists in Paris because everybody generally, like at least the locals, dress up when they go out normally. And I'm like, I mean, not like dress up like fancy dress, but you know, they're always dressed very stylish and stuff.
Yeah. My Paris trip, I took my parents and, well, they had come to visit us in Spain and we took a trip to France anyway. And we walked up to the Eiffel Tower. We did all the pictures and my dad was like, okay, can we go? I was like, what? Like he was done. He saw it. He took some pictures. He's like, okay, let's.
I feel like that'd be my dad.
Yeah, he's like, that's what I want.
This is not right. Exciting.
I got him there because we were actually taking a scout trip and staying on the beaches in Normandy, like actually on the beach. And so that was why he went. And then the Paris was a side trip for everybody else. And so he was like, okay, I'm good.
Dads.
Diana's reading Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone. That's like the buzz book right now. Everybody's reading it and loving it.
That's on my list. There's a second one that just came out about a train or something.
Bailey says, well, I tried to read House of Earth and Blood in February and kind of gave up. You know, I would have too, Bailey. I really was not feeling it. And then I gave it 5 stars. Usually, like, if I start out hating a book and then I end up loving it at the end, I still give it like a 4-star. It earned a 5-star. Like, it earned a 5-star. So
you read the second one?
Not yet. I haven't, but I haven't read it yet. Okay. Did you like the second one?
I thought the second one was a slog for me personally. And I felt like some of the like dynamics and stuff I was not a fan of. And so like I didn't like it as much. It does have a very explosive ending like the first one does. But yeah. But I'm just like interested to see because some people like it. So like don't just
No, it's fine. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to hear. This is their first time in Milan. Don't know about dressing up here. We just went to the grocery store and everyone is dressed pretty casual. Okay, that's good to know. Oh,
things to do in Milan.
It's good to see.
There you go. I was like, what am I reading?
The Duomo. I've heard of that. Okay. Okay. Good to hear. Everyone was dressed up in Rome and Florence, though. Oh, okay. So they don't dress up to go to the grocery store in Milan. Yeah, I'll try to work it back into jokes first. I mean, Bailey, you may not like it, though. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to give you that. I mean, Bailey's good about DNFing books, though, if she doesn't like them. So I'm from Rome and visited Milan for one day.
That's why
Okay. Did you like Milan, Livia? Was it like, or is it just a one-day sort of place? We haven't been to the city center of Milan yet. Our Airbnb is more in a residential area. That's sometimes nice, though, because then you get a bit of the local feel. I like that. Yes, I'm sure the food is amazing.
That was why we took a trip to Italy when we lived in Spain, because my son chose Italy strictly for the food. Like that was his place to visit. Just
sounds
for
amazing.
Did you notice, Amanda, that 'cause, like I did study abroad in Spain, that the food in Spain was not that exciting? Or did you have really good food?
If you will eat anything that comes out of the ocean, then you're fine.
True.
But I mean, they are a peninsula, so you would assume there's a lot of seafood. But yes, I mean, we had our favorite tapas, and so when we went anywhere, if they were on the menu, we knew like what to order and what to do. But for the most part, yeah. And one of my kids doesn't understand the difference. So when we were moving, he was like, "Is it going to be like Mexican food?" I was like, "No, babe.
No,
Mexico
nothing.
is a totally different place than Spain."
And not spicy at all. Yeah.
No, but that's the best thing. Like I would get ready to order something, and they would be like, "It's very spicy." And I was like, "Oh, wait." And then I quickly realized that their level of spice is my level of spice, which is fantastic because I'm such a wimp. So if they say something is spicy, I can eat it. I'm like, yes, I will eat that.
I mean, I loved it because I was in Sevilla. I loved it. And I did go to Madrid. I really enjoyed different parts that we traveled around to, but I just didn't find that the food, like that wasn't, Spain's not where I would go for food.
No, but we lived about 30 minutes south of Sevilla. So we were a little closer to the ocean down there. But I mean, it was still an hour and a half from our house to get to the ocean. But yes, we were really close to Sevilla where we were. I loved it a lot.
Yeah,
and
I love it too.
because I speak enough Spanish that I was okay with being there, we have a real issue. Like I did not love Turkey as much. I don't know enough Turkish to feel comfortable. And I don't want to be the American that shows up and says, "Hey, learn my language and speak to me in English." Like I want to try to speak their language if I'm in their country. Yeah. So I knew enough Spanish, and I took Spanish the whole time I was there. I had a teacher. So that was much better than when we were in Turkey.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Mel said, I've been to Spain as well, and it wasn't super exciting to me either. She meant the food. Yeah, because the food, I mean, Spain is beautiful. It's inexpensive, and I really loved it in general. But the food was just, like, Greece had the best food that I've had in Europe. The food in Greece was so amazing. Olivia says, I think that you can see Milan in a day or a weekend, but it's nothing like Rome. I want to spend, I've only was in Rome for one day. I want to spend a lot more time there. Mel says, I loved all the sights, though. Yeah, Spain is a beautiful country. I haven't been to Portugal yet, which was like right next door, pretty close to Sevilla, but didn't make it over there.
Portugal has better beaches. I'm sorry to anybody who lives in Spain, but the Spanish beaches, I'm sure that somebody knows like a secret beach, but like Malaga, the big main beach areas are very, very rocky. But in Portugal, they're all like really pretty, and I don't know. We went over to Portugal because it's like the edge of the world for a long time. They thought it was the edge. And so when you're standing there and you watch the sunset, it does look like that it's just falling off the edge. So it was really cool.
That's cool. Were you going to say something, Stephanie?
No, I was just saying, I think Portugal looks absolutely beautiful. That's probably one of my top places that I'd like to go over in Europe. Just because of TikTok, honestly.
There's a what's the thing called? The zip line. There's a zip line that goes from Spain to Portugal or from Portugal to Spain. In any case, they call it the time traveling zip line because they're an hour away from each other. So you gain an hour by taking the zip line.
Oh, that's crazy.
So they call it the time traveling. So we went there. My husband and my daughter did the zip line, and I just took pictures because I was like, no, thank you. They had to cross a giant body of water. And I was like,
Oh, that's so cool.
oh yeah, it was very cool. It was very long and really cool looking, and they loved it. I was happy to take pictures from the crowd.
I love that for them.
Mel says Rome was beautiful, but so crowded. I believe that. Brenna says, love Greece. My dad is retired there. Oh, Greece. Yes. Greece was, and Greece is one of those places where you can go to a lot of the ruins, especially the smaller ruins, not like the Acropolis, but like if you go to Marathon, there's ruins there and there's nobody there and there's no security. So you can just wander around and kind of feel like imagine what it would have been like, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
That's the whole country of Turkey. There are no safety signs. There are no rails. And my kids were so little when we were there. I spent all my time going, no. Like I need you to stay closer to me and not on the edge of all the things. So yeah.
Diana says, I've always wanted to go to Greece. It looks so beautiful and I love Greek food. If you like Greek food, it's like 50 million times better in Greece.
That's the same thing about Italy though. If you like Italian food, it's 50 million times better.
I feel like that's how it is for most food,
right?
Honestly.
It's because of the actual produce. Like in Greece, it was all about the ingredients. They got their food. The restaurants got their food fresh from the market in the morning, and it had so much flavor. The vegetables on their own had so much flavor, and it was very simple, but like incredible. Love travel overseas somewhere to see different cultures. Oh, totally, Alicia. Highly recommend. It's a good experience. And we did a lot of traveling growing up because my dad's Polish, so like from Poland, and Europeans tend to travel more. So we did a ton of traveling, and it was a good experience for me as a little kid because you get a much broader understanding of other cultures and other places. So highly recommend, Alicia. Melanie, you should do the zip line.
Right. I'll find out the name of the city because we drove from where we lived. So it's southern because we drove from just south of Sevilla over. So it's got to be in the southern part of Portugal. So
Diana's getting hungry.
I'm sorry. I went and got cheese and almonds during our last trip.
I had made myself some toast and hot chocolate. Actually.
Oh, nice.
I know it actually was really good. I was going to do coffee, but I was like, you know what? I don't need the caffeine.
Yeah, no. Mel says, I'm pretty sure that I've gained weight with all the pasta. Oh, I can't. It sounds amazing.
It's worth it.
It's like the beginning of your meal. Like you have a salad and you have a pizza and then you have your pasta. I'm like, how are we doing this?
Oh, that's sick.
Yes.
Well, and that's how it was in Spain when I stayed. We had the hosts that made us lunch and dinner every single day. Every meal started with soup. So you'd have soup, you'd have a main meal, you'd have all the stuff with it, then you'd have dessert. And yet we were walking so much every day that like it didn't feel overwhelming. It was really lovely, actually. Rome has so many things to see, but yes, there are so many people. You should have visited in September or October. Oh, okay.
Good to
know. There we go. Insider information.
Bailey's got to go. Once these babies are going, we're going. Oh, I hope you have a good time, Bailey.
Okay, Bailey, I'm going to be tagging you in some videos coming out.
Some videos.
It's taking me forever.
Undisclosed amount.
Jenny says, had to make my lunch because you were making me hungry. Mom's getting hungry too. My raincoat button's up and I have noticed the buttons pop off. That's unfortunate, but
that is actually hilarious and I love it.
That means you've had a great vacation.
Yes.
Oh,
that sounds so fun. Oh, Mel, I bet you're having an amazing time.
Okay, good.
You've been tagged too, Amanda. All right, let's do another sprint. Let's go with 45 minutes. Is that all right? Yeah. Because I might have to make something to eat too. My coffee is making me like this, so it's time to eat something.
Yeah, I didn't do the coffee this morning because my anxiety is already all crazy with the test.
Yeah, a lot smarter than me.
I got 8% of the way through. I'm almost at the end of chapter 2. So
that's great. Okay, let's see if I can do my math right now. Let's see, 45, 55.
55.
Let's just do
hour.
Let's just do the hour.
Okay.
That sound good? Okay.
Perfect. I'm going to go handle the dogs, but I'm going to be listening. So.
Okay. Happy reading, everyone, and studying. Welcome back, everyone. How is everyone going?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a plan, or how you've been wanting to study?
Oh my gosh. Not really. I mean, I feel like I come up with plans and like I just am not good at sticking to them because I get bored so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like at this point, it's like whatever I am willing to do to study, I will accept from myself. So yeah.
I think that's, yeah, I can see getting to that point, especially. You're like, oh, it's so tedious.
Yeah, it's been a few months now. So I'm just like, you know what? If I am willing to do it, I am going to like just be proud of myself for doing that because I feel like my mental state going into it at this point might be a little bit more important. We'll see though.
And make sure you get a lot of sleep the night before.
I know. Cool.
Yeah, I'm halfway done with chapter 6. There's multi POVs, which I didn't know. So, if that's one of the, that's not on the bingo board, but if it is, maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, and if you listen to it on audio, it's dual narrators as well.
Oh, cool.
That's good because I heard somebody mention that it didn't really specify in the book, so it gets kind of confusing in the book, or I think that's what I heard somebody say. So
as of right now, where I am, chapter 6, the voice stays the same through the whole chapter. So they're not switching in the middle of chapters, which I know has been an issue for me in the past, but and it's a woman and a man, so the narrators are very different. So sometimes there have been dual narrators, but they're like both female and their voices are so similar that I'm like, I still don't know who's talking. Yeah. Every time I start talking, he's like, oh, is it time to get up?
He's like, it's time for you to pay attention to me, right. Obviously. I finished Fenris and Mott.
It's very action so far. Like,
that's cool.
Things are moving.
Are you enjoying it? So, because someone was saying, I saw in the Discord, someone was saying they were confused by the magic system. How do you feel about the magic system?
It's shape-shifting magic system. So no, I don't know how things work, but I'm just trusting that they do. So,
sounds good. Yeah, I got my book finished. That was great. And then I started getting back to my Jade War read. So feeling good about that. And it's starting to, like, so the first few chapters I was a little, I mean, I feel like the writing in this the pacing can be a little, at times it can get, like, it can get a little tedious at times. But that didn't last very long at the beginning of this. I think that the chapters are picking up pretty quickly. So I have a feeling it's going to be very, very exciting. Let's see how everyone else is doing. So Amanda did point out that there are spiders in Shadow of the Fox.
Yeah, and so but what it ends up, what I think it is more, because that was for chapter 2, by the way. So, but it's monsters. There is a monster slayer in here, and so he is slaying monsters. So those will take many different forms, it seems, but the first one is a spider.
Okay. Brandy says, read 78 pages and finished top story. Now going to pick up either Finally Heard, also by Kelly Yang, Refugee, or Life. I've heard Refugee is such a popular one in the schools, and I've heard such great things about it. I don't know if either of you read Refugee, but that's...
I haven't, no.
It's supposed to be pretty tough, like, you know, definitely for upper elementary if you're going to read it with kids, but it's supposed to be really fantastic.
Nice.
Brenna read 40 pages of God Killer. Good job.
Get moving right through that book. It's not a super long book either, so
that's perfect. We had breakfast and
was it an Italian breakfast burrito? We were talking about
No, it wasn't. It was smashed potatoes and eggs and not it had Havarti cheese, which is where's Havarti cheese from?
I don't know.
I don't either. That's a good. I'm curious about that.
That's my guess. I don't know.
Doesn't sound French though, Havarti.
I know.
Melinda read 28 pages, worked on laundry. Diana read 21 pages. Fallon 18 pages. If We Were Villains.
I love that book. That's good.
Oh.
So what is I know everybody's talked about it, but what is it actually about?
So it's a dark academia book, and it's very similar, I feel like, in vibes to The Secret History. But in If We Were Villains, you have this group of actors, and it's all Shakespeare. So they're at this like all artsy college, but they focus exclusively on Shakespeare. And so that's all they do for pretty much their university degree. And there is someone who is killed, and this isn't a spoiler because it's like at the beginning, and then we're kind of like going through what happened in that situation. But it definitely has like the dark academia vibes to it, which I love. I love dark academia.
Sounds good. I don't think I've read enough dark academia. So but I just keep hearing such great things about If We Were Villains. I'm very curious about that one.
It's good. I do find though that if you're like going on a dark academia kick and you decide to read If We Were Villains and The Secret History too close together, they're too similar, I think, to do that. Okay. So I found that whatever one you read first tends to be your favorite in those if you kind of read them close together. Because I read The Secret History first, and that one was my favorite.
Okay. That's good. I've been reading The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. So that's the only thing I've been working on as far as her writing. And I'm really liking it so far, but it gives me an idea of what her writing is like.
Gotcha. I don't know. I feel like The Secret History is quite different.
Is it? Okay. Yeah. Kim is here. Hi, Kim. Hope everyone is well. Olivia read 4 chapters. Oh, that's really good. I had to leave, but Kale's back. I'm recovering from being sick, but I feel so much better today. Good.
Good.
Being sick is not okay. That's not all right. Oh, and I forgot. Mom gave Mel a break. The raincoat shrunk because the rain. That was sweet.
That is cute.
Yeah. So, any big plans for today? Y'all have anything fun going on?
Not really. I'm going to study, and I'm going to take a practice test. I'm going to get off this just to kind of like see where I'm at. And then maybe, I don't know. I don't usually watch it's the Oscars on tonight. Am I right? Is that the one that's on tonight? I don't know. I mix up these award shows all the time.
I don't know.
I never really watched the award shows, but I watched the Grammys recently because I like Taylor Swift, and I was like, oh, I'll watch it. And so I was like, maybe I'll try out the Oscars, see what I think. I don't know. Like, people get really into them, so I was like, maybe I'll give it a try. That could potentially happen tonight, but if it's too boring, then I might go back to watching Lord of the Rings, which is what I've been binging.
Oh, that'd be fun. I know a lot of people in the past who would do big Oscar parties, but I feel like I don't watch as many movies nowadays.
Yeah.
So I just don't feel as invested in that kind of I've watched the Oscars before, and it was interesting, but you have to I feel like you do have to kind of know some of the actors of the movies.
I've watched Oppenheimer and Barbie.
Okay.
I definitely fell into that Barbenheimer hype that was going on. So.
Yeah, my children did as well. I watched Barbie with them, and then I was like, y'all are on your own for Oppenheimer.
Barbie was so good. I actually went
Barbie was fantastic.
I went to that.
I haven't watched it yet.
I was very surprised.
What did you dress up?
Fine.
I wore like a pink Shania Twain concert shirt. So not really, but at least like kind of fitting the vibes of it.
I still need to watch that. Yeah, I don't watch very many movies anymore. And if I do, it's like old movies that I'm revisiting.
Yeah, I like that too because I like the comfort of it. But I wanted to do Barbie, and my husband wanted Oppenheimer, and I was like, well, everyone's saying Barbenheimer, so let's just do that. So we did. And I liked Oppenheimer too. I actually thought it was really good and really well done, but Barbie was a lot more fun.
Okay. Yeah, Oppenheimer, the previews looked very dramatic.
It was very dramatic. All of it.
I mean, it's a very interesting story, actually, and aspect of our history. So I think I could see it being interesting. But I really am more interested in Barbie.
I 100% agree. I feel like if Barbenheimer hadn't been a thing, I probably would not have gone to Oppenheimer. So.
Yeah, I mostly watch movies in the theater because one of my kids wants to go. And then, so I know a few of the new movies, but I only watch the ones that I want to watch because they have enough friends that I'm like, you go with your friends. I don't have to go.
I feel like last year I went to quite a few actually, because I didn't go to, it took me forever to get back after COVID, because we used to go all the time and then COVID hit and we just stopped going. But I went to Oppenheimer and Barbie and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes all last year. So that was actually a ton for me to go to 3. And then I went to Dune this last week.
When we lived in Alabama, which was where we lived before we moved here, there was an AMC not far from our house. And on Tuesdays, it was $5 to go watch movies. So my son, because I homeschool him and he didn't have a job, now he has a job and he can't. But we went to a matinee every Tuesday. As long as there was a movie on that we had not seen, we went to the movies.
Fun. I like
so we watched a ton of movies, but that would have been like a year and a half ago. So and we moved here and it's like 25 minutes to 30 minutes away to the movie theater, and he's working. So I can't take him to a matinee. So it's kind of like on the weekends. If anybody wants to go, they negotiate who's driving, who all's going. So usually I don't go.
Do you guys remember the Movie Pass thing that came out? It was, how long ago was that? Like 5 years or something?
I had it.
No, more
I had
than
it
that
up until COVID.
It was more than that because 4 years ago was COVID.
Yeah. Okay. So when was it? It was like when I first moved down to Utah. The Movie Pass thing came out, and you could go to like unlimited movies for $10 a month. And I know it got more expensive. And once it got more expensive and more limited, we stopped using it. But for a while there, we were going to like 4 movies a week. We just like went to movies all the time because it was so cheap and we could just get out of the house, go to a movie and stuff. And then they stopped. I was like, you know what? I feel like you guys are losing money by not allowing this to continue, because usually when we'd go, it would almost never be a busy theater because you couldn't like book ahead the same way as you could. So it's not like you could go to the sold out ones the same way. And we'd buy popcorn or drinks or something. So essentially by saying that this Movie Pass thing couldn't continue, they had empty seats and nobody buying snacks. So it's like, you're just losing money on this. Like, you should have just let it keep going.
And I think that different chains have, like AMC has their own thing you can do right now. You can join it and do it. It's different than just a membership. It's like a plus. We saw the ad for it every time we went. And I was like, if there were enough movies that we wanted to see, this would be worth it. But because, I mean, I just don't care. I never watch movies. Like, they'll do an interview with an actor and I'm like, I do not know who that is. Like, if they're not Tom Cruise age and older, I don't know who they are. I'm like, I don't know who these actors are unless they've been in Marvel movies, because I have boys and my boys, that's what we watch is Marvel movies. So I'm like,
that's fair.
I had some kids ask me, 5th graders ask me, who's your favorite actress who stars Zach? And I was like, you're not going to know.
Well, who is your favorite actress? Now I need to know.
Oh, I love Meryl Streep.
Oh my gosh, I love Meryl Streep too. Who doesn't love Meryl Streep?
5th graders have no clue who Meryl Streep is.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a really bad question because you're not going to know who I am.
Yeah, my 17-year-old just said, I know the name, but he doesn't know who she is either. So.
Yeah. She's incredible.
She actually presented an award at the Grammys.
Did she?
Did. I was like, what? You don't even do Grammys stuff.
I don't get like, because I've worked in Hollywood, I don't get like celebrity like when I've met celebrities or seen celebrities, I don't get like super excited. But she's a celebrity that I would want to know. I think I would really enjoy knowing her. I hope she'd be a cool person. I think she would. I think she's actually pretty,
I've met like no celebrities besides Brandon Sanderson, if he counts as a celebrity. But
I think so, yeah.
He does
around
lives
here in Utah, and so like I've gotten to go to a lot of his like signings and stuff before he got as big as he is now, and you have to like win drawings to go see this guy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and so like him, I feel like that's the biggest celebrity I've probably met. That's insane. So like I have no way to tell how I would be.
Well, I can tell you, at least in Hollywood, most celebrities are fairly short in stature. Not all.
Interesting.
They are. A lot of them are. Not all of them, but, and it's kind of, they're just very petite. So that's fun. But, I mean, obviously not all, but I don't know why that is. I've just noticed it to be true with a lot of the celebrities that I've seen are met in Hollywood, is that a lot of times you're like, they're just kind of, they're little.
They're not as big as you thought they were on the screen.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Kale says, I'm not a big movie person. I don't have time anymore, and it's hard for me to sit. Yeah, so the length of movies, I think, our attention span is.
If I watch them at home, I'm on my phone. I can't.
And, you know, it's been ever since COVID for me, that not that I don't like going to the movie theater because I love it, but I'm also like, well, I could just watch the movie here.
Yeah.
And that's
what we do with almost everything. Yeah.
Oh, what's the new Wonka that came out? My son
yeah.
saw it in the theater and he was like, you need to go watch it. You need to go watch it. And I was literally like, I'll wait till it comes.
It's out. You can stream it now if you want.
I watched it. I watched it with him. The day it came out, he's like, it's out. I was like, okay, let's watch it. Because he had already seen it in the theater and he was like, it's so good.
Isn't it a musical though?
It is. It was still really good. It was really cute.
I don't know. I feel like I'm thinking of Timothée Chalamet dancing around and singing, and for some reason that just doesn't work in my head.
Well, maybe because you just saw, isn't he the main person in Dune?
He is in Dune, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know anything about Dune. I've read the first book. That's on my 50 before 50. So I don't want to watch anything until I've read the other books. But
the Dunes are only the first one.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
You could watch both of these. It's just the first book.
Okay, good. Because that's all I've read is the first book. And I was like, I don't want to jinx. I mean, not jinx.
Yeah, no, you could watch both these. They kind of like divided the first book into two parts, kind of like they did with like the last Hunger Games and last Harry Potter and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, well, cool. Then I guess Wonka was cuter than I was expecting. It had more of because it has nothing to do with the other Wonkas, except that it's like his life before we saw him as Wonka. Then I think they're not redoing anything that we hold dear to our hearts. So you can't mess up stuff because it's new stuff that we don't know about.
That's fair.
How was Ballad of Songbird and Snakes?
I actually loved it. I thought it was really, really good. But I liked the book when it first came out. Okay. Yeah. Because I know a lot of people didn't. And I was like, I actually quite enjoyed this. Like, it wasn't a 5-star for me, but it was a solid 4-star. Like, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. But no, I actually thought that the movie was really, really well done. I think that Rachel Zegler did a good job. Her voice is amazing. I thought that the visual effects were great. I thought all the acting was really good. It had a little bit of a slow point in the middle, but I feel like the book did too.
Mm-hmm. It did.
And so, yeah.
I was curious because, and I've heard a lot of people hate it because they hate snow so much. And I'm like, I like a villain origin story, you know? And I don't think they ever made him out to be anything other than what he actually ends up becoming, really. Like, you know, you realize he's human. Like, I think that's an important part of villain origin stories, that you're like, oh, they're human too. Like, there's good and bad aspects of everybody. But I don't think they ever made him out to be someone who you're like, oh, I just think he's so wronged in, you know.
Oh, I think that a lot of these complaints maybe not in the movie. I did not think the movie did that, but I thought that like people simping over the actor on TikTok did that, which is fine. Like, the actor is very attractive and he does a very good job at playing this character. So like, I don't blame them for like making these little simp videos, but I do think that some people took that to mean like they liked snow. And I'm like, I think we need to separate finding the actor in that role hot and actually liking the character, because those are two different things.
Yes, agreed. Diana says, I'm not in the loop because not watching TVs and movies. That's fair.
That's probably good. Probably a lot of time to get things done. I waste so much time on like binging TV shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah, TV especially. I can do TV because I'm like, oh, it's only a half an hour show.
And then you watch like 5 of them.
So why can't I just watch a movie? I don't know. Kim says, I ended up watching Oppenheimer at 10 a.m. at the cinema. That was a weird experience. But yeah, I fell into the Barbie Oppenheimer hype too. Enjoyed them well enough.
I can't imagine like coming out of Oppenheimer and being like, okay, it's 1 p.m. Like, it feels like a nighttime watch.
Okay. I might have to watch that one actually. I might be interested. Ruby says Meryl is tall, and then goes on to say, "Wait, never mind. She's only 5'6". See, I told you.
She's shorter than me.
Vince Vaughn is tall in real life. David Hasselhoff is tall in real life. Yeah, there's others, but not very many.
Crazy, because like I don't feel like I'm tall, but taller than Meryl Streep apparently.
Melinda wants to see Wonka. Ruby, she does seem much taller than to me than that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I want to see Wonka too. So everybody wants to see Wonka. Sure? I'm a sucker for backstories, so I really enjoyed Bella. Yeah, I really liked it too.
I do too.
I just thought it was interesting. And I got so much more of understanding Panem. And that's what I really liked about Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I wanted to understand the origin of everything. Yeah. And that helped quite a bit with that. I need to put down my phone and actually read.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm so addicted to my phone. It's bad.
I play Monopoly Go now. And I also scroll because it's like when you need that mindless, and being a teacher now, I get so overstimulated during the day that I'm like, I just need to not think and watch videos of stupid stuff.
I do that.
And you know that these the reels and all this stuff, they have figured it out so that they, the algorithm knows what you want to see. So of course you're gonna be like, oh, I'll just watch one more. Oh, I'll just watch one more. And
I don't go on there. Like I have an Instagram and I would never, ever open it except my husband sends me reels all the time.
Oh my gosh. My husband does it too.
I don't get notifications. So literally we get in bed at night, and this is when you've been married 25 years, you get in bed at night and watch reels together. Yeah. I'm like, okay, let's see what you sent me. And we literally, he watches me watch the reels that he sent me earlier. And then he goes to sleep and I stay up and send him reels that I know he will then watch the next day.
See, I don't really use Instagram at all. I use TikTok. So I'll send my husband TikToks, and
you're going to have to do something about that.
Yeah, I will.
Anyways, I send him TikToks, and then he sends me Instagram reels, and I'm like, we need to get on the same page here. Yeah. But I'm not going to start using Instagram because like I see the things on TikTok like weeks before they get to him on Instagram. And I don't know how this happens. Like, I feel like it's got to be an algorithm thing, because it's not like the people who are posting them in both places are like waiting, right? It's not like they post it on TikTok and then wait a couple weeks and post it on Instagram. Like there's something on the Instagram algorithm, but it happens. And so it's so irritating. I'm like, honey, I saw that like a month ago.
It's old news.
This happened a month ago.
Well, we're not on TikTok either. Neither one of us. So he's on Instagram. I have an account clearly, so I can just look at
clearly.
Yeah. I'm not on TikTok because I already have a big enough problem with reels. And I know that everything's like you said, it's all old. I'm like, that's okay, because otherwise I would just be even worse than I've started putting a timer on my phone so I can't watch too much of that.
Smart. I should do that.
I just feel like I have to read. So I can't, I don't watch TV and I don't watch movies, because if I have a second, I'm like, I'm going to read this book, which, I need another hobby, because it's not.
No,
it's good. And everybody's like, oh, I like to read too. And I'm like, yeah, but mine feels like, I don't know, feels like it's an unhealthy amount of reading that happens at my house. So
no way. I don't think there's an unhealthy amount of reading. I love it.
Well, yeah. And I think that I feel like I need to read too, but then you start scrolling and all of a sudden like an hour's passed, and you're like, look up and 2 hours have passed, and you're like, what happened? It's so true. It's unintentional.
It doesn't suck me in that way. All of our TikToks, not TikToks, reels, are like about dachshunds, because we have 2 dachshunds. So they're like about dogs, or they're about parenting teenagers, because that's what's happening in our house as well. So that's it. And then those don't suck me in. I'm like, oh, those are funny and they're cute, but move on to
the weird thing for me is I found I deleted TikTok for a while because I needed to do school stuff. And then when I tried to just go use Instagram reels, because of course, I'm terrible, but I didn't feel like it sucked me in the same way as TikTok did. I feel like TikTok just niches right into what I'm going to pay attention to. And Instagram isn't quite as good at it.
Maybe
I do get some weird stuff on Instagram occasionally. Most of the time it's stuff that I'm interested in, but every once in a while I'm like, what the heck is, like, there's some creepy, weird stuff out there. And you're like, ugh.
I also feel like Instagram has some mean comments. Like, I thought it would be nicer than TikTok because I'm like, oh, I bet Instagram. No, like you go look at the Instagram comments and people are brutal and vicious. I'm like, holy cow. It makes me not want to post anything on Instagram anymore because I've never gotten mean comments, but now I'm just like, dang.
That it is scary. People can be really, you know, they got a computer in front of them. They can say whatever the heck they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jenny, I'm going to send you a message so we can become friends on Monopoly Go. If the times suck too. Jenny's also not on TikTok. I don't need to. Yeah.
Suck out all
it does. It does.
My kids don't even like TikTok. Like, they were on it and then they were like, no, we're not. I mean, they don't really do social media. My kids don't. So
that's nice.
That's good.
I know. And not because I mean, we did sit down when TikTok first became a thing. They were younger teenagers and they maybe had just gotten cell phones, and we sat down and I was just like, okay, let's look at how this algorithm works, because I read an article about how even if you are not looking at it, but you stop scrolling, then your phone is like,
yes,
interested in that. And so I'm like, there was some kind of study or test or whatever they did, and in less than 5 minutes, they have you narrowed down to where you're seeing only the stuff that you paused on. And so how fast the TikTok algorithm went.
It's good.
So we just have a lot of discussion all the time about, like, whatever you're seeing is curated for you, and that's not everything that's in the world. And maybe you need to go look at other things and not your little curated life.
It's so funny though when people complain about what's on TikTok, and it's especially like the more elderly people, and when you've watched these like the TikTok things with the government and stuff, right, that's going on, all the hearings, they'll be like, all I ever see on my TikTok algorithm are these little girls dancing in no clothes. I'm like, I'm just saying,
right,
TikTok algorithm shows you what you watch, and they are very good at it, because I have literally never seen a video like that in my entire time on TikTok, and it's been years. So
yeah,
right.
I mean, it does really hone into what you're gonna keep, right?
I get, like, books and cats, like, that is my page, and I'm happy.
Yeah, I get food, like people who are cooking stuff, different kinds of food content, and then lately I've been getting a lot of Bridgerton content. Lately on TikTok. But yeah, Instagram has some weird stuff occasionally that just, it throws something in there and you're like, that shouldn't be online anywhere.
Field to see if you'll pay attention. Where I feel like TikTok will kind of gently be like, "Hey, this is mildly related." Oh, nope. Okay, back to your normal stuff.
Okay.
How many ads?
I've been traumatized a couple times.
How many ads are there on TikTok?
I don't find that it's too much, and I don't actually find it super obnoxious, because it's almost like you just skip it, like you kind of skip any video you're not interested in. Yeah. It doesn't feel like when you're on Instagram where the ads interrupt your friends and the people you follow, because if you're on your For You page, it can be people you follow, but it can be just like anyone, right? And so I don't really notice them that much. And mostly the ones that I tend to get, I feel like, are movie ones. Like, a lot of times I'll get like movie ads, or they're ads that are kind of like regular TikTokers have made them in collaboration, right? They're like influencers being paid. Those are the types of ads instead of like the professionally made ones. But I think I would notice it more if you go onto the page where it's just the people that you follow, because then it kind of interrupts that content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really notice it on my For You page. It's not the same as like Instagram, where it was obnoxiously breaking up like the people that you're following.
That's good to know.
At least I'm
not convinced though. I'm not going to start a TikTok.
Oh, I honestly don't recommend that anyone starts TikTok. It sucks out time of your life. I am addicted, and I'm just like, don't do it. Get away. If you haven't joined, don't.
Mom is addicted to Pinterest.
That's fair too. When I was planning for the Taylor Swift concert, I was on Pinterest like a lot. So it does suck you in.
Has anybody noticed though lately, because I used to pin a lot of stuff from Pinterest, like recipes and all these different things. And lately they've been sending me messages like, you have something on here that has an inappropriate link or something like that, or a link that isn't like, it's like spam sort of link. And because I just pinned the thing and didn't actually go into the recipe because I was pinning it for later, or saving it for later, I didn't actually check the links. And so they're like, if we find this happening again, we're going to suspend your account. And I'm like, it's not my fault that somebody else created a pin with a funky link, but I've been noticing a lot of that lately.
Yeah, I always try to go in and look at what I'm looking at, but I'm also not looking at recipe stuff. I don't know. Pinterest gets me because I'll be on one and, you see that top line below it of like the next things that are similar to it. And I'll click on that and I'll click on the next one. And then I'm off in space of where I was trying to end up over here.
That's true.
And I'm letting it go back and back to like, what was I originally doing?
You just need to like exit out and start all over.
Yeah, I know. I should just be like, let's go back to Pinterest.com and do this again. Yeah.
Livy says I tried TikTok, but I had it only for a day. It's not for me. Yeah, so I think that it definitely is. Well, and it takes a while to curate those videos that you really know you're going to like, right? I've heard somebody else say that, like, they didn't like it at first, but as they got curated more and more to what they're going to like, then they enjoyed it more.
Yeah.
Mom says, "Are you calling elderly?" It's okay. She is. Wait till she hears that when you'll hear her. Oh! Okay, I don't like TikTok because I don't like shorts like that. I prefer to watch YouTube videos because they're longer. That's fair.
Yeah.
I do.
And that's actually good.
I wasn't listening.
I wasn't listening.
Over here dying. It's fine.
Shows you got a longer attention span, Kale.
It's good. Hang on to that.
I like the longer ones too, but I do have a limit. Like if it gets to be, well, here's the thing that's also funny to me. If it's a vlog, I know Amy's vlogs are like a whole full-length movie.
Ancient. Yeah,
Those I don't mind so much. And for some reason, I like to watch. Okay, so specifically, Stephanie, when you're playing your TBR game,
right.
If I look at the time and I know it's 50 minutes, then your game was awful to you. If it's like a 13-minute video, I'm like, man, this is going to be just basic through the thing. So I'm faster to click on it if I know it's real long because I'm like,
I
that
know.
game was mean right there. I'm going to click on that. But if it's like somebody reviewing books or doing a book haul and it's really long, I just can't. I'm like, I can't, because my brain cannot process all those books that you're discussing or describing or whatever. So when somebody has a video that is like a wrap up and it's over 20 minutes, I already know my brain is checking out. Like I'm not listening. So I'll turn it on like on 2x speed and I'll just let it play. And if something interesting is there, I'm like, yes, let me write that down or put it on my story graph or whatever. But I'm not paying attention like I do to the vlogs or the games. But the games are my favorite. Like every Monday on my channel is a new game. I play a new game every Monday and
They're fun.
it is it's so much fun. I try to only pick 5 books, except I got 9 the last time I played your game. It made me mad. So
that was funny.
It does that.
I got 2 black holes. And on the second one, I said, you know what? I'm not going back to the beginning. I'm stopping right here and continuing on. Like I'm just done.
Oh my gosh, I know.
And it was like, cheater!
Like, no, I'm done.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Diana says my reels tend to be dogs, books, and nerdy history content. Oh, I like nerdy history.
As many books recommendations. I guess it's because my husband sends stuff to me and he doesn't. He will occasionally send me something that says Brandon Sanderson. He doesn't know who it is, but he knows that I read his books. And so he'll be like, I guess you'll get this. I'm like, okay.
My husband reads Brandon Sanderson. He's gone with me to all the conferences so far. It's kind of fun. I like it.
That is fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know about attention span. I'd like to have it in the background when I'm doing different things. Yeah.
That's
yeah. Awesome. And Jenny says, I love the games too. My husband laughs because I would gamify my entire life if I could. And Jenny's really good about adding games to everything. In fact, when I had her on Sprint, she brought her spinner wheel so we could spin the length of time on our sprints and stuff.
Oh, I do the same thing with my whole life. Like if I have a list of things that need to get done, I make a spinner wheel. It goes on that wheel. I spin it, and whatever it is, that's what I go do.
I like that. I might do that.
Because my brain, I'm not good at prioritizing what needs to be first, So I will literally just put it all on a wheel, and whatever I spin is what I do. And I do the same thing. If I have to film a bunch of videos one day, I will put them on there. If I'm editing, because that's what I do for my job is edit for my clients, I'll put all my clients' videos on a wheel and spin, and whichever one it lands on is the one I do. I like the bingo board idea. I just have a wheel spinner that has my whole life on it, just about. And
that's fun.
Kelsey's like that idea. Yeah, it takes away that decision fatigue too.
Well, and it's the same thing, like the tedious little admin things that I have to do at my desk every day as well. Like I have when you sit down at your desk, this is your wheel to spin. And that is my budget's on there. And I've got like budget. I know she's deciding which ones to pay and which not to pay. But it does have like, look at my budget, check my emails, respond to comments. Like I've got all those, and I just throw them up on a wheel and do it in a different order every day so that I'm not, I don't get bored doing it or try to quit doing it because I know I'm dreading doing the same thing tomorrow and whatever.
I like that.
Yeah, no, it does make sense, especially because sometimes it's hard to it's easier to do the things that you'd rather be doing or feel a little less painful. And so you'll do them instead. And then,
I always add in there. There's always one slice of my pie that says read for 30 minutes. So when I land on that one, it's like, okay, I get to get up from the desk.
Wheel has spoken. I can't. What am I do?
Yeah,
I like that. I need to do that because I seriously am like so unproductive. TikTok.
Instagram.
Yeah.
YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, mine might be YouTube. I don't really get lost in and out.
I get lost in
Libby count. Spend all my time in Libby.
Libby.
It's an app.
It is. It is an app.
I use sprints for tasks.
I do that also.
I do 20/20s. I call them 20/20s. I'll do 20 minutes of something, 20 minutes of something, and then I set my timer so that I'm doing my 20/20s. And it helps when I really need to get stuff accomplished.
My work day is scheduled in Pomodoro cycles, and I have a timer on my phone. And so I get 25 minutes of work, 5-minute break, which generally for me turns into 50 minutes of work and then a 10-minute break because I skip that first break.
Yeah. I actually like that better. I feel like once I've gotten productive, I kind of need to stay there.
Yeah, I almost always skip that first one. So.
Wow. Annoying. Sorry. I'll say we did talk about your comment, so I'm not gonna
gamifying chores would be a good way to do them as well.
Yeah.
I just don't do chores at all, so it's fine.
That's one of those things where I'm like, that gets put off because I would rather do other things.
Right. Now, just get you a person that lives in your house that likes everything to be super neat, and you just generally have to keep your stuff out of the way, and they will handle the rest of it. That's all I'm saying. I just lucked into this one. I don't know what to tell you.
That's perfect. You did it right.
We've been gone for a whole week. My husband was home alone. We walked in the house last night. My boys are 17 and 19. Both of them, the 17-year-old walked in and he said, "This house looks so good. I cannot wait to mess it up."
Oh, poor dad.
I know. Dad is in trouble because he's the only one that's clean. He's lived with the rest of us for 20-something years. The rest of us are chaotic. So.
Oh, that's
okay. Well, good. There you go. My daughter was cleaning the whole rest of the house except her bedroom looked like a bomb had gone off. And when it got on her nerves, she would clean it up. And I was like, "That's fine. Nobody has to go in the room." But the whole rest of the house, she cleaned up the whole rest of the house. But then she left and has her own house now, so she doesn't clean mine anymore.
That's not fair. Well, your husband does it, right? So it doesn't matter.
Yes, he does. I know. Somebody asked me something about washing clothes the other day, like my washing machine. They wanted to know what it was like. And I was like, I don't know. I just fold them up when they magically appear on my bed by the laundry genie. Like, I don't know how my washing machine works. And he did have to text me one day. He was like, "I forgot to move the clothes to the dryer." And I was like, "What setting do I put it on?" like an actual child. When our children turn 10 years old, they have to learn how to use the washer and dryer. They've been doing their clothes since they were 10, but not me because I'm spoiled. So I know how to do it if I get desperate, but
We just honestly do our own laundry. I don't even. Yeah, I almost never like. I'll do his laundry sometimes if he's like, "Dude, I ran out of this. Can you throw some stuff in?" But I feel like other than that, we don't even notice when the other does laundry.
yeah, no.
It just gets done.
Yeah.
Ruby says, speaking of sprints, yes, we should go into a sprint. How long should we go? 30, 45? Who votes what?
I'm good with whatever.
Yeah, I might have to jump off is somewhere in the middle of these ones. So
Okay, well, let's go with 45 because I'm going to take my dog out, and I think that sounds good. Can somebody keep an eye on the comments, including everybody out there in the comments? Just keep an eye on the comments in case I'm out and I can't delete anything that needs to be deleted.
Okay.
That would be great. Okay, oh, yeah, I got to actually set it up. So what's that? 45 is
25.
25. Okay. Happy sprinting, everyone.
Bye, Stephanie.
Yes, bye, Stephanie, when you have to hop off.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back. How'd it go, everyone?
Well, I made it to chapter 9, I'm at the very beginning of chapter 9, but I'm 26% of the way through the book. So
Nice.
that's nice.
Really good progress.
Just starting. Yeah. I have just under 11 hours left, but because, I don't listen to it on normal speed. I've listened to 3 hours and 45 minutes worth during our sprints today, which is nice.
That's perfect. That's great. We actually did some sprints today, hey?
Yeah.
Not just one sprint and then just talking the whole time.
All right. Good thing Ruby got us back on track.
I know. Thanks, Ruby. Lita's here. Hi, Lita. Thanks for sprints. Be finishing this spell's love. That's going to be our last sprint. We didn't say so earlier, but we both are needing to get to the next thing we need to do. Tracy's here for sprints here and elsewhere. Hope everyone is having a good Sunday. Yeah, it's a nice Sunday. I hope the day slows down a little bit, though. I'm not ready for the next week to start.
Oh, I am. I just got back from vacation. I'm ready to get back to work.
Listening to Crying in H-Marked for Realmathon. You must be in the bread team, right? Because it's a red book.
Can y'all hear my thing going off in the kitchen?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I started boiling eggs in my Instant Pot while we were, okay, it's done. While we were reading, so.
Melinda got homeschool lessons logged.
My homeschool baby is a junior this year, and all of his lessons are on the computer. I don't have to do anything. Part of me misses the whole organizing and getting it all ready, but the larger part of me is so glad I don't have to do that anymore. So.
I finished the spell's love. Good. Hope you enjoyed it, Alita. That's great. Mom read 40 pages. Olivia had dinner.
In Rome.
What did you have?
She's like, it's my everyday life. It's not that interesting.
It's all about the ingredients, though. They're so much better. Brenna made it to page 95 in God Killer. I did take a bit of time to watch my daughter's concert band performance. Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's nice that you can watch it even though they're out of town, too.
Yeah. Jenny read about 100 pages, has about 100 pages left in her book. We're glad you're enjoying it. That's especially wonderful since you're on, wouldn't it be, she's doing her reading retreat thing. Wouldn't it be awful if, you're just, DNFing books left and right? It's nice to just, sit down and have the time to really enjoy something and it be really good. Spring break here, so I'm enjoying some much needed. Oh, so jealous.
They're just finishing spring break here. They had it this past week.
Mine's not till the first week of April.
So early. I don't know if that's normal for up here because this is my first spring here, but it's way early.
It's not spring yet, right?
Oh, for sure. There is a foot of snow outside my house. No, it's not.
Yeah, the 20th is spring equinox. I know. So ours is
right.
until the first
it's not
week of
even
April.
Spring, let alone the fact that I live here where it's not spring till way later. So anyway.
Adriana's a junior, but we used such a mishmash of curriculum that I still have to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes. Glad you have unlimited time today to really enjoy a good book. Good. Good. I can't wait I hope you're vlogging. I can't wait to see what you end up reading there. Mine just started. That's
the best kind of spring break to have it just started.
So 11th through the 15th. Oh, that's so fun. I've got 12 books though, so I'm excited. Oh, what game are you going to use to pick your next book, Jenny? Because I know you're going to use something.
And also, how long is Jenny staying gone? Do you know? I clearly need to go check out her channel.
I don't remember what she said. A weekend?
Oh, she's vlogging. Okay, good. Well, I'll get to see it.
Good. Yeah, I think she did this last year. Didn't you do this last year, Jenny? You took for your birthday. You also did a weekend away or something like that. That's clever.
My birthday's in June. That sounds like a great idea. I could plan that for this year.
Mm-hmm. Come visit me.
Another road trip? I
I'll
don't
still
drive
be in
enough
school.
anyway.
Still be probably.
In June, you'll still be in school?
June's going to be busy. So yeah, the kids don't get out till June 18th. And then that weekend after June 18th, my friend Elisa is coming to visit. And then I might be going down to Los Angeles to visit my dad and my brother and everybody after that too. So June's like going to be a busy month, I think. I am. I'm using Allison Book Breaks Bingo Maze. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, with the arrows.
I think Allison is playing for me. She sent me an email. And so she might be playing one of her games for me. I mean, somebody else has been doing that as well.
She did play her one game for you.
Oh, okay, good. Because I've got it saved, but I haven't watched it yet. So, okay, good. She sent me an email and asked me about it. And so I've got to go watch it. And then I got to do yours. So.
Yes, 2 days. And yes, I went to Asheville. Oh, I've heard great things about Asheville. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember saying that like last year. Oh, you're in Asheville. I've heard such great things about Asheville. Now I'm saying it again. And Alita says school year ends May 12th. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, but when's it start though? Because our school year starts August 30th, or like the very end of August, whereas a lot of people start at the very beginning of August, which it's so hot during August. I don't know why you'd make kids be in school.
I remember when I was a kid, we started right after Labor Day. Like the first weekend in September was when we started school. And when did you done in May? Because every year for my birthday, I was already gone to summer camp. Like
they're lengthening the school year. Soon there's going to be no summer left.
Yeah, that's fine. When I was homeschooling my kids, we did 7 weeks of school, 1 week off, 7 weeks of school, 1 week off. And we just did it through the whole year. And then we took the whole month of December off. And then they got to take their birthdays off. Like we could customize it to be how they wanted it.
We start August 3rd. Yeah. Ugh. August is like the nicest month here in Washington. So I'd hate to start that early. Our school year doesn't end until June 28th. We go back after Labor Day.
But Brenna is in Canada, I think, if I remember
right.
saying that correctly. So it makes sense that they did. That's why we start early. It's too hot to not be at school. That makes sense. When we lived in Turkey, it was so hot there during the summer that a lot of their summer sports, they pushed them to the fall and winter. Sports that we play here during the summer, they played them in fall and winter because it was better to be outside during those times. Right.
Too hot to not be at school. Oh, yeah. So all the kids have air conditioning during the day. Oh, that's too hot. Yes, in Canada. Yeah. And I like our schedule here. I just wish that, we got out in middle of May instead, like you did. I think I remembered that too when I was younger.
I mean, I know the seniors get out a little bit early, but like my graduation was May 20th. And I think they had to go to school like a week after that or something. And then that was it.
Yeah.
So it was in May for sure when we were done.
Yeah. Well, June tends to be a rainy month here, so I don't mind so much. And then sounds like I'll just be busy and for the rest of June, and then get to relax a little bit in July and August.
There we go. We got Italy's schedule as well. September to June. It sounds like if you don't start till September, you have to go to June. Mm-hmm. If you start early in August, you get done in May.
Yep. And we had, I was going to say we had a few extra days because of snow days, but no, we used other days that were kind of reserved for snow days. So we haven't had to add any. June 18th has been our cutoff day for a while. We haven't had to add any yet. And I don't think we're going to get any more snow. So we'll see.
They don't do very many snow days here. Even when they get snow, they just figure it out.
Well, I was talking to somebody who comes from an area where they have a lot of snow, and then when they moved here, they felt like it was so much different because we have so much more water, like not water, but like it gets a lot more icy, and we don't have the infrastructure to deal with the ice the same way. And so since we don't get that many snow days in general, we just get, like days of snow, we just get snow days for those days because it tends to be, they want to keep more people off the road.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing I noticed as a difference up here is that the snow, when it falls, it's really dry. You cannot make snowmen. You got to wait for it to melt a little bit and then you can make snowmen. But the wind blows it everywhere. So you don't have like pretty snow that falls and just settles. You have like 7 foot tall and no snow. Like, there's not a happy, like everything is the same everywhere around. So, but I love it. It's fine. I'm definitely not complaining about it. I do complain when I have to get bundled up and go shovel so my dogs can go to the bathroom, but otherwise, I'm not
quite happy with it. Yeah. And I love the little bit of snow we get here, and the fact that we get snow days. I actually get to enjoy it. Because we don't get much snow, so when we do get it, we get to just enjoy it. And yeah, I need to get an all-wheel drive vehicle at some point because neither of us have one. And then the school that I did most of my student teaching at is up on a hill. And the first time I tried to drive up that hill when there was snow, I made it, but I had to slow way down. And there was a part of me that was like, oh my gosh, please just make it.
You can't ever stop either, because once you stop, there is no starting again.
Yeah.
I know anytime I'm on a hill, which there's not many around us, but I'm always like, do not stop. If there's a car in front of me, I'm like, do not stop, because then I will have to stop. Yeah.
There's so many houses around here that have these incredibly steep driveways. And I'm like, what do they do when it gets snowy or icy? We get a lot more ice than snow, I'd say. And I'm like, what do they do? You just don't do it. You just don't go anywhere. Well, though Seattle had those ice days where everything was completely covered in a sheet of ice, and you see all the all the TikToks. We were talking about TikTok earlier, all the videos of the cars crashing into each other, which was a thing that happened this year and last year. So luckily we didn't get the sheet of ice up here.
Yeah. Where I grew up, I'm almost in Louisiana. So at the very bottom of Arkansas. So there was no snow. There's snow in northern Arkansas, but not where I was there. And we get ice, and it would do the same thing, except it drizzled and then it would freeze and all of our power lines would fall because they couldn't hold the ice.
Yeah.
And you could just stand outside and hear all the tree limbs breaking because of how heavy the ice was on them. I mean, it was bad. My junior year of high school, we were all without power for well over a week. My daddy got his camping stove out. He thought it was great. He was like, let's go. Cooking all the
food. Don't worry. We got it covered.
Yeah, he was ready to go.
That's cute. We don't get snow days, or we never would be, or we would never be in school. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and it's so different in a local. Like my friend just moved away from Anchorage, but they have snow for 6 months practically. So they have a better infrastructure for it then too. Right. Everybody has their winter tires. Everybody. We have to make up those snow days. So, we don't get to just have snow days and not make them up, unfortunately. It's snowing today for Melinda. Yeah, ours is mid-August, the first week of June now.
But it wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't like that when we were kids. I know here that when there's snow days, they do online learning, but when I was in school, we would have to make up the snow days. Yeah, so we have to make up the snow days. And luckily, there's no online learning. Nobody wants to go back to that.
That year, when the thing happened, when I was in school, we had to go 2 Saturdays to make up.
Oh.
Yeah, we had Saturday school, which thankfully, I mean, the rule is in order for it to count for a school day, it only has to be a certain number of hours. So we weren't doing a full day on that Saturday. It literally was however many hours we had to have. But I remember we had to go 2 Saturdays because, I thought my life was over, that I had to go to school on a Saturday.
It's over.
Yeah. I was like, this is the worst.
That's amazing. Well, we have some teacher days that are like days where the teachers would have to work that are kind of embedded in the schedule. So if there is a snow day, it's no longer a teacher day. It becomes just a regular school day, which actually has worked out really well, I think. And we have it could have been extended until the 22nd of June if we had more snow days. So luckily, I don't think that's going to happen because I'm like, no, 18th, we're done. I didn't become a teacher for nothing.
That's right.
That's right. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me, Amanda.
Well, thank you for asking me. I was on vacation and I was like, I'm just going to come back and do nothing on Sunday. So now I got 25% through that book, which I don't think I would have done. So
You're starting another series.
Is it really a
Yeah,
series?
it's a series.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I'll be starting another series too. I'm always starting new series and never. You at least finish yours. I don't finish mine.
I have 45 left of my 50 before 50. I've completely finished 5 of them.
That's great. I've got 79 series.
Well, I have way more than 50, but I just had to pick 50 to
yeah. For
nicely rounded
that's
out.
great.
So
if you get done well before 50, are you going to add more?
I don't. I'm sure I will.
I'm just kidding.
Grab some more stuff.
Like,
The problem is, like, and then there's so many that are actively being written that I think they're still going to be ongoing at the end of this, I think. But, I mean, yeah, getting caught up on some and getting like, Discworld, I'm on book 3 and there's like 50 books maybe in that series. So I got a bit on some of those. That's going to take a while. I just have to stop immediately reading Heartstopper as soon as it comes out because it's on. Every time a new book is out, I'm like, oh, let me do that. I need to get caught up. Like, that's the one I need to read.
It doesn't take that long to read, though, so it's probably not hurting you too bad.
It doesn't. And I'm all caught up, just waiting for the last book. She said number 6 is going to be the last one. So
yeah, but she said that about number 4, right?
Yes.
Number 5.
But then in the back of this one, she said, I know I've said this in the last book, but then I really needed to tell this thing. So now book 6 is going to be the last one. So.
And then all of a sudden she'll like, ding. Right. Oh, and then I have to tell this thing.
Well, maybe she can start like a separate story. I know she's got a couple of like in the world stories too.
Yeah.
So she could always do that as well.
There's always plenty of things.
I'm here. I'll read about any of those children. So that's fine.
Let's see. Kale says, our school gets out pretty late anyway, so it was brutal when we had to make them up. Yeah. Not fun. Not fun. But I'm determined it's going to be June 18th. I'm already thinking about if I end up getting a job with a class next year. I'll probably spend my whole summer preparing for it anyways because, I'm a first-time teacher and it's going to take me a while to get my class set up and to make sure my schedule's all set, to get used to the curriculum.
Oh, yeah. My first teaching job, I got hired on the 4th day of school.
Oh, no.
They said, go down here. Here's your classroom. They walked me down. The substitute was in the room.
Oh, gosh.
She sat with me for the second half of the day. And the kids kind of did whatever they wanted to do while we talked. And then they handed me the curriculum that day and sent me home over the weekend. I was like, what is happening? So,
wow.
I was very scared.
What grade was that?
10th, 11th, and 12th grade, high school.
Okay. That is, oh gosh, I hope I have a little more warning than that.
Well, just apply earlier than me. I couldn't decide what I was going to do. And then we had moved to a new place during the summer. And I was like, I got this brand new shiny degree. Let me get a job. So anyway.
Wow. That's exciting and scary.
Oh, it was horrible.
I'm glad it worked out, though.
It did not. It was horrible.
Well, you survived it at least ultimately?
I totally did, and I've got some great stories from it. So we'll have to talk about those later. But I had to go testify in court. The principal was arrested that year. Like, I'm telling you, things happened that year.
Oh, wow. You have stories. I need to hear these stories. So we'll talk about it. Thank you, everyone who has joined us. I hope everything is going well with your reading for Spring-Into-Reading-Athon, whatever is going on in your month of March. It feels like a pretty good month for me, so I'm glad. Is it going well for you, Amanda?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've been driving for 4 days. I've read so many books.
Yes. So do you listen to earbuds while you're driving, or do you listen to play them out loud?
What I'm listening to, I play some of them out loud, but I was riding in the car with a bunch of teenagers. I wasn't going to play my romance book that I was reading. So that one went in my headphones. And there was a moment also, which I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but when I'm in a public place and things are happening in my head, I always want to go, can everybody else hear this right now? Like, because sometimes I feel like it's playing out loud and everybody's hearing this sex scene with me, not just me. So there was a moment where I thought, Okay, the kids are not reacting, so they can't hear what's happening right now. So anyway.
I've definitely like been listening to something in my car, and then I pull up and my windows are down, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna roll my window up while I'm next to
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's what.
Mom had a good time. Melinda says, thank you for today. Thank you, Brenna. This was fun. Thank you for the sprints from Livia. Yes, thank you, everyone. This was great.
Nice. Yes.
And thank you for Amanda and Stephanie for joining me. Their information is down below. Go give them a follow. I think that's it. I don't know when the next Spring-Into-Reading-Athon sprints are going to be. It might not be me. It might be me. I don't know. But when it happens, it happens. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.